This afternoon we took a little trip to Disneyland for a couple of hours. It's one of the things our family has done forever and ever and just love. And while I was there, I decided I wanted a hot fudge sundae and we just never got around to it. So I came home and we don't have any hot fudge. So solution to that for me is we're gonna go ahead and just make our own. And so we're gonna start with 1 cup of chocolate chips. I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I like Ghirardelli milk chocolate. That's just my thing. So that's what I'm doing. Now, as I go ahead and get this together, one of the things that I was pondering this afternoon was, you know, when you're in real estate like I am, people always want to know, how is the market? And right now, the market's been changing a little bit. So, you know, some people have said that buyers think it's 2008, which is when we had the Great Recession and the housing market just completely crashed around the country and in Orange County too. And I would say that we are not even close to that. On the other hand, I've heard it said that some sellers think that we're in like 2022, which again, we're not. We are not getting multiple offers on every property, $100,000 and more over asking price. It's just not what's happening. We're still, in my opinion, and from the numbers that I've been looking at, in a slight seller's market. Now, understand that a seller's market and a buyer's market have to do with the inventory. And just to let you know, I just put a 1.5 tablespoons of butter in there along with a cup of chocolate chips. We're gonna put a 1/2 cup of cream in there as well. And buyer's market versus seller's market just speaks to what the inventory is and how many months it would take to sell all of the houses that are currently for sale at the current rate. And if you're under 3 to 4 months, most people would tell you that you are in a seller's market. And on the other hand, if there is more than 6 months worth of inventory, most people will tell you that you're in a buyer's market. All right, and if you're between 4 and 6 months of inventory, we're neutral market, and never seems to stay that way for long in my experience, which is about 25 years as a licensed broker. For those of you new here, I'm Christine Donovan. I am both a real estate broker and a licensed California attorney, and I live here in coastal Orange County, where I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for a lot of years now. Anyway, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and melt the chocolate and the butter and the cream together. You don't want to get the cream too hot, otherwise everything curdles and you have big problems. So anyway, so buyer's market, seller's market, neutral market. Where are we currently? Like I said, I think we're still in a slight seller's market, though things are a lot slower, especially depending on the city and the price range where you are. Please note that real estate is local, and I'm not speaking anything outside of Orange County, California at the moment. So what sellers have gotten used to is properties selling way over asking price, multiple offers, selling in a day or two. That's not what we're seeing anymore. As I said, things are getting more neutral, more normalized, so I don't think we're completely there yet. And again, dependent upon price, condition of the house. One of the things that I think sellers need to be really careful about is pricing their property correctly. They need to not overprice their properties and stretch for the stars and hope for the best if they really, if they really want to sell their property. So on the other hand, for the first time in a long time, buyers actually have a little bit more power in the market. They might actually be able to ask for a closing cost credit, help things along those lines. And the biggest benefit, in my opinion, is that they are not necessarily going to be competing with 10 or 15 people, making so many offers on the property that they just can't win until they've made 10, 15, 20 offers and have gone way, way over the asking price. So I think that's where we stand currently. If you would like more information about the market, please go ahead and leave a comment below, or you can reach me at 714-319-9751. Also, a huge believer in education. I have a book for buyers, a book for sellers that I've done. I also have, if you prefer video, I have a course for buyers, one for sellers, and as well as buyer guides and seller guides. So if any of that would be helpful to you, I am more than happy to provide it. Just let me know. We're going to go ahead and finish up this hot fudge. Again, you want to make sure it doesn't get too hot, because if it gets too hot, well, you wind up with curdled cream, and I don't know about you, but that's not my thing. So we're about ready for this. I've gone ahead and taken it off the heat. I'm just mixing it just a little bit more for those chocolate chips to make sure they are completely done. And I'm gonna wait for a little while, because if I poured this over ice cream right now, I'm gonna have nothing but a puddle and a mess. So I hope you guys have a great day. And again, I am Christine Donovan with Donovan Blatt Realty. I am Orange County's 5-star agent, and we open doors and fulfill dreams. And if you have any questions about hot fudge or real estate, please let me know.